applications. Please help me in introducing Dennis McGuire to the stage.
Thanks very much. So my name is Dennis McGuire. I'm in charge of Automic Software's global application release automation practice. So it's a business unit within our company. We've been focused on deploying applications for the last 3 years, but our customers have been focused on deploying applications for the last 25 years with our solution. We just came along and made some fine points. So who here has gotten more requests over the last few years from the business about, I need a new application to do something? And whether that be an iPad application or something else, everybody's got one of those, right? It's a punch list that is growing longer and longer. So what has this really created? Really a revolution in IT. And what is that revolution is, it's a digital revolution where everybody expects everything instantly. So IT now has become the partner for business to help drive growth. As we're driving growth for the business, they expect a return on their investment. And as that return comes back, they give IT more and more projects. If we don't give them a return, that's where that shadow IT or SaaS third-party solutions often come into play. The type of applications that the businesses are really asking for are what the consumers are asking for as well. Some of the sessions this morning mentioned the consumerization of IT. And for the enterprise, that's come into play very often. And ultimately, what does it look like, and what has changed it the most is the smartphone. So that type of applications that the business is demanding are instant applications. I was reading an article. I was in a dentist office last week. So if I get the quote wrong of what year and what magazine this was, over the last 5 years, 98% of all applications that have ever been invented have been invented in the last 5 years. So it was Forbes, some magazine that's still in a dentist office. So that's as close as I'm getting to that. But we've all seen the growth, whether these are at home, and what ultimately drove it is we all love the internet. I'm going to guess right now, 50% of you are on the internet while I'm talking. I'm hoping it's only 50%. It's probably more like 80%. But that's fine with me because we're all trying to do business in a different way. It has to be real time. It has to be focused on the application. And it has to be focused on what the end user, you or your business, actually want. We all love being connected. Our customers love being connected. An example for me is my 12-year-old daughter. Anytime we go to a restaurant or get on an airplane flight, her minimum expectation is that they have Wi-Fi so she can be on Instagram. Who's got 12-year-olds like that, right? Well, everything changes. We have those expectations, like my 12-year-old. From our thermostat being connected to our refrigerators, they tell me are going to be order milk when I become out of milk at some point. That'll be nice because one less honey to-do list thing for me to do on the way home from work, right? At work, they're coming up with new devices to help us become more productive. I wish I had this one right now. I could point and click and say this is what I'm talking about, but I don't. But there's all kinds of unique things that they're being asked to do. And the people in this room are the ones that are going to invent, whether it's a device or a new application. So that's why I'm really excited to be here to talk today. One more personal story for me. I don't know if anybody has seen this soccer ball. My 6-year-old son loves it. It's my Adidas soccer ball. Every time you kick this ball, it reports back to your iPhone, or in his case, his iPad, and tells him how hard, how fast it kicked, where he actually kicked the ball, where he should have kicked the ball. It's quite amazing. So if you have a kid who plays soccer, it's a little on the pricey side, but that's what he wanted for Christmas. So these things happen. But really, technology is reinventing every business. In retail, we heard on 60 Minutes earlier this year that Amazon's planning on delivering things via drones. Now, somebody in this room is going to invent an app that's going to tell that Amazon drone to come deliver something at the Jacob Javits Center. Hopefully it's the t-shirts I'm giving away later at the booth that are still in transit. But more importantly, applications like this in banking. I remember the Super Bowl, I guess it was about 5 years ago. There were two great commercials from banks. One of them, you deposited your check, you put it in there, and at the ATM, and it printed out an image on your thing. And that was during the first quarter of the Super Bowl. During the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, a bank went on there and did this application, where you just take a picture, no need to go into the branch office anymore. So we were having a meeting with the first bank, and I was asking them about the two ads. And what they said is they actually tie $7 billion of lost deposits to not having that feature in 6 months. That's how quick, if you do not deploy new changes to your applications, things can go wrong for your business. Luckily for that bank, they're a huge corporation, and $7 billion worth of deposits is not a lot. I wish I had those problems, right? Well, healthcare is the one that I think everybody, like me going to the dentist, everything's now digital. No longer am I getting reports, I'm getting emails of how my teeth and how I should go there and get them whitened. In fact, a study from Cerner, a large healthcare software company, said 85% of healthcare systems are going to move to the cloud or are already on the cloud within the next 12 months. To me, that was stunning. I thought healthcare, they would be the last people to move to the cloud, whether that's a private cloud or a public cloud due to different data regulations. But what they found is when things like that happen, it's easy for them to take advantage. And because there's so many mergers in the healthcare system, they have to constantly integrate different companies that they've acquired, different hospitals, different chains along those lines. So our businesses are asking us to move faster. In fact, they expect you to move faster. Everybody in this room is expected to innovate like a startup. That you're also expected to have the throughput of Google and have no brand errors like an Apple. In fact, when you're delivering applications, you're being asked to do 4 things. The first thing is deliver new services to your clients. Number 2 is get paid on those services. Number 3, make sure you're out innovating your competition. And number 4, make sure you're in compliance and nobody gets an orange jumpsuit. This gets much harder for most organizations because of the complexity that we've talked about already. You're asked to deliver new applications and new types of applications. So what that is, whether it's bringing your traditional applications from the data center into the cloud and ultimately to the mobile device. These are the challenges that you guys are being asked to overcome. So whether it's an on-premise system that needs to move to the cloud, and you now have a 3-month project to do this, where you used to have an 18-month project. Has anybody experienced these deadlines? Raise of hands. Thank you. So the expectations are there, and how do we help overcome them? So getting that application into the cloud, organizations have a lot of things to say. The last 2 things I've recently read is 94% of organizations are experimenting with applications in the cloud or have gone to fully infrastructure as a service. By a show of hands, how many people are doing infrastructure as a service today? And do you stop at the infrastructure, or does the business expect you to put the application there as well? And it's just a different process for getting the application there, whether that is taking skill sets you already have and converting them, or repurposing the skill sets you already have in place. The other thing is 84% of all organizations are going to be using the public cloud in one way or the other. I personally find that hard to believe that only 84% are going to use it, because I don't know anybody who's not using Netflix. Whether that is to get a video for a presentation that you're going to give at Cloud Expo or somewhere else. So, but organizations struggle with that complexity. The number one reason executives fear of moving to the cloud isn't compliance or data. From a study we received, it's all about they're unsure of the skill sets of the people in their IT organization. So the one roadblock for them to do more, they feel is IT. Well, I think that's a mistake. I think the reason that's a mistake is everybody in this room knows how to get there. It's just the process of how do you do it when you have the reality of a hybrid. Anybody can put one application in the cloud, but how do you have your ERP system that's been on site, and how do you have your next-gen applications that you've developed in EC2? It's a different skill set, and it's different people that need to be involved, or you need to retrain your people. And these are the challenges that concern them. I actually think this is our opportunity as IT professionals to show, just as the business changes, we can change to adapt to the business. So the one thing that's broken down barriers to moving things to the cloud is the application and how quickly you can repurpose the data you may already have into a new application. So one of the things we've all seen is bigger is not always better. Everything now is driven by an SDK. In fact, one teenager, like my 12-year-old daughter, can ship a product faster than a group of seasoned professionals. One, maybe because there's less red tape. Two, because there's less risk for them to actually go out and do that. Moving forward, there's going to be really two types of companies. Those that understand the application is their business. And unfortunately, those that do not. The business that will fail, I think, have three common things in common. They're slow to change. We've all been in a company, we've all been on projects where some executive is afraid to go fast. I love the term that I've been hearing Gene Kim talk about recently is fail fast, right? I'd rather fail fast than spend the next 18 months building out a project that is another BlackBerry that has keypads on it as opposed to an iPhone. The second common thing they have is they're always focused on the way we've done it. Every time I go on LinkedIn, somebody's posting that picture that looks like a stairwell. The worst thing in IT is it's time to change, or I don't know how to change. These are problems. And the last thing that everybody does is they really hide from their competition. So don't be this guy. Don't hide from your competition. Be the businesses that win. What do the businesses win that do? They embrace change. How fast does your organization adapt to change, and how quickly can you do it? What I've seen in the last few years is IT has done an amazing job of changing at the pace of business. We all have that punch list of 25 features that they need to be added into. We get there. And how we're getting there is through a new practice. We've seen the most successful companies do that via DevOps, where development and operations are working together. And I'm not talking about some big company where they said, hey, we've got to get a DevOps department. How many people have heard that one? It's all about bringing people together and getting them to work together, whether that is in DevOps or in sales and marketing. But how do you get that, embrace that change? And being able to ship code faster and quick trials and quick failures is always important. And ultimately, what does that lead to? It really leads to the business treating IT as their partner and bringing us to have a seat at the table. I have a customer, AMC movie theaters. I'm sure everybody's gone to one of those. IT is using Automic's product, and one of the things they said is they went back to the business and said, hey, we're getting near real-time data back from every movie chain in the country. And anybody who has one of those AMC Stubs cards says you get a discount, or every $100 you spend, you get some money back. Great if you go to the movies a lot. But what they realized during some movie releases is that people don't buy popcorn or soda. So what IT did is they went to the business and said, hey, we can tell you if any of your Stubs card members didn't buy popcorn or soda within 5 minutes of having checked in and purchased their ticket. So what did IT then do is used automation to send out emails, tweets, or text messages, depending on how you want to be communicated with from AMC, and offering up a free popcorn or a free soda, because if you buy popcorn, you're probably going to need something to drink. So really what that does is means IT has listened to their customer, the business. And this is the third and final thing that successful organizations do. They listen to their customers. So my 12-year-old, her computer science class, they're building applications. Her application was for incoming 6th graders into the middle school, how to get around the middle school. So essentially an interactive map. So what did they first do? Is they went down to the elementary schools that flow into the middle school, and they asked them, well, what would you 5th graders like to know next year when you... And the most common thing they got back is they wanted to know where the bathrooms were. So on her little app, they have a big white beeping dot for where all the restrooms are in the... So that's a lot of applications. And these are only the applications on the App Store. How Automic really helps businesses is we help with automation. Like I talked about with the AMC, our customers find new ways to automate things. And I'm going to play a video here from one of our customers who is going to join me on stage. But his company's growing so fast, they just acquired 2 of their competitors who actually don't understand the application as the business. So Total Administrative Services Corporation, Tom Flitter is going to talk to you guys for about 2 minutes.
Tom Flitter, I'm the Director of Applications and Integration at TASK, Total Administrative Services Corporation. We're a third-party administrator of employee benefits. So we serve approximately 1.5 million customers worldwide. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they use our web-based portal software to administer their benefits for their employees, and the employees themselves at home request reimbursements for flexible spending accounts, transportation accounts, COBRA leave. And we'll work with clients anywhere from 1 employee all the way up to 20,000+ employees. So we get those transactions daily flooding in through our doors. Our business partners within our company wanted enhancements, they wanted change, they wanted to serve their customers better, and our IT department couldn't move fast enough. We could not deploy enhancements fast enough. We could not move fast enough to meet the needs of our internal or external customers. We were doing releases of this web-based portal and doing upgrades, enhancements, new functionality. We were doing that about once every 2 to 3 months. What was our challenge here? Why was the system down for 6 to 8 hours? Why were 6 to 8 valuable employees spending their Saturday night doing these upgrades? I didn't want to provide that kind of service to our customers. We had to find a solution. We had to find it quickly so that we could meet the growing demand of our company. I reached out to Automic and I said, this is what we're doing. And they said, you know what? We're doing the same thing. We're developing a product. We saw the same kind of need. Let's talk. The key to a lot of the work we've been doing is using the Application Release Automation Software, or ARA for short. This software is basically taking applications, software applications, solutions, and automating the release of them to the customers. So orchestrating it, taking all of those highly skilled people, focusing them on the important things, and using this orchestrator and this automation tool to take that solution and very quickly make it available to your customers on a timely and a quality basis. We can now do a deployment of our software starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and nobody knows. And that's a huge step. And the Automic solution was easy to implement, it's easy to use, it's easy to train on, and it's easy to grow.
I'm a big believer that customers always can sell your product better than you. So I'm going to wrap up with that. I would like everybody to stop by our booth. We've got 2 shirts. One house of dev, one house of ops, and of course on the back it says DevOps. So stop by our booth tonight. We're right by the bar, so good location. You'll all find it, I'm sure. Thanks, everybody.